Sawadika. Welcome to Creating Magic with Rotary, a monthly live talk that dives into the inspiring world of Rotary service projects. We are simultaneously streaming on Sutichay Live, Mojo Club, and Rotary channels in 7 Southeast Asia countries or cities. My name is Supan Vibunma, your moderator. Imagine a world where clean water, education, and healthcare are available to everyone. A peaceful world without conflicts, polio, and other preventable diseases. Today, we're going to show you how ordinary people are making extraordinary changes in this part of Asia, spanning 5 countries, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos, through the remarkable stories of hope, how the Rotary Foundation makes a difference in our special episode today. We are privileged to be joined by distinguished Rotary leaders, 2 from Thailand and 1 from the United States of America, who will share insights into the transformative work and the continued efforts of 1.4 million Rotarians worldwide. Let's meet our guests. First, Professor Dr. Saowalak Rattanavich, past Rotary International Director and the first female Rotary International Director in Asia. Her groundbreaking leadership has opened doors for women across the region while advancing Rotary's humanitarian mission. Professor, thank you for joining us today.
สวัสดี
สวัสดีค่ะ Also joining us is Mr. Nakarin Ratanakitsunthorn, a past district governor and chair of District Rotary Foundation for Thailand, Myanmar, and Cambodia. His leadership coordinates vital humanitarian efforts across multiple countries and cultures. Thank you for being here today, Mr. Nakarin. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ สวัสดีครับ
Thank you. We'll also hear from the Rotary Foundation Chair of Trustees, Mr. Mark Daniel Maloney, past Rotary International President, with Ms. Didi Vibunma, Chief Communications and Marketing Officer at Freedom World, a past Rotaract of Thammasat University, our special co-host, interviewing him during his recent visit to Asia. We'll begin our conversation with Professor Saowalak. As the first female Rotary International Director in Asia, what unique perspectives do you believe women bring to humanitarian leadership?
Oh, a lot, huh? Women, especially in Asia, for example, bring several unique perspectives to humanitarian leadership, shaped by cultural, social, and economic context. And there are some few contributions that I can summarize some. Number 1 is community-centric approach that we use. Women often have deep-rooted connection to their communities and understand local needs and dynamics. Female leaders in Indonesia have effectively mobilized grassroots efforts during disaster, prioritizing community involvement and leveraging local knowledge. Number 2, the inclusive decision making. Women typically advocate for and practice inclusive leadership styles that value diverse voices. For example, in Philippines, in the Philippines, organizations led by women have been instrumental in ensuring that marginal groups such as indigenous populations are represented in humanitarian planning and response. Number 3, resilience and adaptability. Women in Asia frequently face and overcome systemic challenges,
Mm.
fostering resilience and adaptability. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, women-led organization in Vietnam quickly adapted to provide essential services, showcasing their ability to overcome under pressure. Number four, focus on gender sensitive approach. Women leader prioritize gender specific needs in humanitarian responses, addressing issues like reproductive health and protection from gender based violence. In Myanmar, for example, women's
Mm.
groups have successfully advocated for the inclusion of gender consideration in humanitarian aid, ensuring comprehensive support for all populations. This is an
Uh-huh.
example of Myanmar, okay? And number five, the unique perspective is intergenerational knowledge sharing. That is important. Women often play a pivotal role in passing down knowledge and cultural practices, which can enhance resilience. And this has been evident in Bangladesh too, where women in
Oh.
rural areas share traditional coping strategy during crises, reinforcing community solidarity. And also in Thailand, a lot of example of the humanitarian leadership. For example, the community network building. Okay, women in Thailand are often at the forefront of building community networks to enhance disaster preparedness and response. For example,
Uh-huh.
region prone in flooding, group of women have organized training session to educate families on emergency preparedness, utilizing traditional practices and local resources to create resilience in their communities. This is an example of a very unique uh, perspective for Asian women.
Wow, that sounds very inspiring.
And also
Could,
mental health support. Also mental health,
ah,
right? Mm.
aha. Could you share some key initiatives you have championed, having heard many projects on many aspects?
Well, number one, I think the key initiative should be education and skill development. Education and skill development, for example, the STEM, the STEM and business program for girls, right? If we encourage women to pursue careers in male dominated fields like technology, finance, and engineering, leadership and public speaking training, provide workshops to
Ah,
help young women develop confidence, communication, and decision making skills. And entrepreneurship in incubators, for example, and support young women in starting their business through funding, mentorship, and networking. And mentorship networking is important too. Women's Leadership Network establish mentorship programs, connecting young women with successful female leaders, for example, and alumni peer mentorship, create structured peer support programs where young women guide and learn from each other. And
uh-huh.
also the Global Leadership Summits encourage participation in conference to build international networks and visibility. All right. And also policy and institutional support like scholarship and grant for women, diversity and inclusion policies, encourage business and government to prioritize gender diversity in leadership roles of women, and legal protection and equal pay advocacy. Also, community engagement and awareness for the youth-led initiatives. Support community projects where young women lead social change efforts. Media representation promote positive role models in media to inspire young girls, aspire to leadership. workshop in rural and understand in underserved area, for example, ensure
Mm-hmm.
leadership opportunity reach young women beyond urban centers, and
Mm-hmm.
corporate and industry partnerships, internship, apprenticeship, female leadership in boardrooms, funding for women entrepreneurs. Uh, by implementing this initiative, society can empower young leaders, especially women,
Ah.
to seize opportunity and drive positive changes.
Uh-huh. Well,
Okay.
now, March the 8th last week was the International Women's Day, and you just mentioned empowering women. You were appointed Rotary Empowering Girl Ambassador for this region. How has Rotary evolved in terms of challenges and achievements for women in Rotary leadership, Professor?
Okay, you know that one major from the UN statistic, we found that one major global problem is 1 to 20-year-old underprivileged girls in need
Mm,
due to poverty and injustice in society. And so,
mm,
World Rotary International aimed to block, okay, that kind of things, the poverty, especially, give the equity to gender, they, especially girls, and millions of girls are suffering now in poor family without sufficient ability to help themselves, and
uh-huh.
various problems. For example, adolescent pregnancy, bullying, child labor exploitation, child
Mm,
marriage, health inequity, lack of vocational skills, right for basic education and literacy. For more
mhm.
than 700 millions around the world of the underprivileged girl couldn't go to school, okay, for
Mm.
example, and sexual harassment, violence, traditional cultural expectation, human trafficking, all of those, concern that Rotary International has to, well, address, and solve all of those problems by encourage all people around the world to be more aware, and taking more awareness, on this problems. Because we think that empower girl today become empower women in the future.
Uh-huh.
If
Wow.
girls lead to healthier family, and we can break cycle of poverty. And for example, according to the statistics, found that, well, every additional year of school increases a girl eventual wages by an average of 12%. And
Mhm.
empowering girls strengthen economics in this way. Okay, increase
Uh-huh.
the number of women completing secondary education by just 1% could increase a country economic growth by 0.3%. Okay,
0.3.
is why, we hope, to empower girls today to
Mm.
be empower women in the future, so we can have ladies like Sally Gilbert, Guilford, Madame Sally Guilford, okay, or the politician, a woman in the world, who are women right now. You see that, or a good example that we need, the girls today who are underprivileged to have more opportunity to stand on their feet and help themselves. This is,
Wow. Thank you.
hope in
Thank you, Professor.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We will switch to Mr. Nakarin. Mr. Nakarin, I understand most of those initiatives or projects Professor mentioned have been supported by Rotary Foundation. Could you highlight some recent foundation projects that demonstrate the significant impact of the Southeast Asia Rotary members?
Okay. Thank you very much, Usupan. Actually, the total number of global grants in Thailand as a whole is almost 200 projects and is performed by 4 districts.
Mm.
District 3330, District 3340, 3350, and 3360. I'm proud to present you just one or two projects of each district, just due to the time constraint, you know. So I will start with the project from the south of Thailand, District 3330. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in Phuket, southern of Thailand, our Rotary clubs provide life-changing opportunities by advancing early childhood development through essential materials and comprehensive training. We supported public health personnel to nurture the potential of young children with development needs. Okay, this is the project which we are proud to present today. Next is the project from the district 3340. It is the showcasing of the rehabilitation project designed to help brain surgery and stroke patients recover and achieve greater independence, enabling them to return home and to resume their daily life. Additionally, we train volunteers to provide home-based rehabilitation and foster community-led care. This
Mm-hmm.
program is based at Thawatburi Hospital in Loyet Province. And the next district project is the district 3350. We are proud to present the project of donating the defibrillators. Defibrillator is a machine which is very important to save life. And in the project program, we also provide a training about the cause of the diabetes, the blood pressure, and the
Mm-hmm.
dialysis, which is uh, related to the consuming behavior of people. As you know,
Uh-huh.
Thai people prefer to eat hot and spicy and salty and sour taste, you know, the four taste, which is very delicious but very dangerous. So we educate them, you know, how dangerous the food is. So at least it is helping them to prevent from the disease at the end. And in the case of the serious cases, you know, they need our defibrillator machine to save,
Oh,
to help them
yeah.
breathe. Yeah.
Uh-huh. How do the Rotary clubs in this region approach the seven areas of focus? And, well, are there any areas where the region has shown particular innovation, Mr. Nakarin?
Actually, in our district 3350, the majority of the project is going to the medical treatment, medical device, you know, because it is very important for our community needs, especially in the up country. It
Mm-hmm.
is unlike, you know, each country, each area, they have different needs. So the
Uh-huh.
area focus in lottery we have seven areas, but it depends on the area where they need which focus more and most
Uh-huh.
important for them. Okay, in our district, there's another district project. Let me finish it first. Yeah.
Yes.
So the last one will be the project of the district 3360. This project is to providing tractors and baling equipment to transform rice straw into valuable resources by boiling and selling straw or
Mm-hmm.
plowing it back into the fields. Farmers create organic fertilizer reducing their reliance on costly chemical fertilizers, starting in Thung Satok, San Patong district. This project is expanding to combat rice straw burning post-harvest, thereby mitigating PM 2.5 pollution and carbon
Wow.
emission.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this project actually very important, and there are three keywords for this project: organic
Uh-huh.
fertilizer, reducing pollution, and sustainability. Nowadays we are facing the PM 2.5 problem even in Bangkok area because the dust, you know, is blow over the country. So
Mhm.
this project is very helpful to reduce the PM 2.5 in future. If
Yeah, very, very informative. Yeah, very innovative. Organic fertilizer, reducing pollution and sustainability.
yes, yes. So
Great.
if the farmers, I would say if every farmers can do this, I think the country will be clean. So we need to worry about the air pollution.
Thank you. Thank you. We are now going to hear from Mark Maloney addressing two critical questions facing Rotary today, with Didi Vibulma co hosting the interview. May we have the video, Coach Ben?
Current global economic and political turmoil, what strategies you think the Rotary Foundation will use to encourage donations? And additionally, what methods would you advise Rotarians to adopt in promoting and securing donations to the foundation? This is also to ensure a significant impact on the lives of those who are affected.
I'm happy to say that even with the current situation, financial support for the Rotary Foundation is strong, and I'm most grateful for that. Nevertheless, for example, in the area of polio eradication, we are seeing challenges to funding sources, particularly those with the United States government, and therefore we are strongly working on alternative ways of obtaining that funding rather than through the channels that have been used in the past. We have seen a surge in cases of polio in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and therefore continuing the effort to eradicate polio is more important than ever. And frankly, the need for funding, the need for Rotarians to contribute is more vital now than it has been in years. And Rotarians, I'm asking Rotarians to meet the challenge and to increase their support of polio eradication. We are also having a focus on the endowment fund of the Rotary Foundation this year, far more than we've had, I think, at any other time in the history of the foundation. And so I have encouraged districts to host legacy events, an event where they establish a target. In the United States, typically this is $1 million, and to work on this for 18 months to 2 years. It's not something that you can just say we're going to do it and do it next month. It's got to be a long-term prospect. But to establish those events, those $1 million dinners, those legacy events, to support our endowment. we have seen a nice upsurge, a nice increase in the number of those events that are happening. This year, there are probably many more, but the Rotary Foundation staff is aware of 56 such events occurring this year. 52 of them are in North America because it's more of a North American process, but that far exceeds the number of such events that have occurred in any prior year, including the centennial year. And they are having a very positive impact upon us meeting our goal of having an endowment of $2.025 billion by 2025.
Right, so you would say that they could also look at the events that have been completed as inspirations?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, events that have happened, but I'm asking for events that focus on commitments to the endowment.
Sustainability.
And, you know, and of course, the other strategies are that I am hoping for every district to have a Paul Harris Society. I see some Paul Harris Society pennants here on lapel, and encouraging governors and district leaders to increase the membership, establish a goal, establish a target, and increase the number of Paul Harris Society members by that amount. In addition, I'm encouraging districts to establish Polio Plus societies if they have not already done so, and to increase the membership in those, and to make that commitment for $100 a year until polio is eradicated. I'm confident that that will not exceed $1,000. I think it'll be less than that, you know, $100 a year until polio is eradicated.
Right, so we're looking at long-term impacts as well.
Yes.
Very nice.
Wow. Mr. Nakarin, reflecting on Mr. Mark Maloney, is there anything you'd like to add, especially those related to this part of the world? For instance, the launching of Polio Plus Society? And also, I understand you have just successfully organized the Rotary Foundation Night with the presence of Mr. Maloney in Thailand. And you were quite successful with the donation received from Rotary members. What's behind the success? Over to you, Kun Nakarin. Mr. Nakarin.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to say the visit of the foundation trustee chair, Mark Maloney, is very helpful for the foundation in our country because it will inspire the Rotarians, you know, how important and how we make use of the donation to the service project worldwide. So the event was very successful, I would say. We didn't expect that the participant will be over 200, but at the end we can achieve 315, which is over our expectation. We are very happy on that number. And before Mark Maloney come, you know, the Rotarians, they have a feeling of donating feeling, you know. So each one of them contribute to make the title major donor. For example, those who donate less than 10,000 US dollar, for example, 2 or 3,000, they can achieve the major donor level. So they just add in the number to make themselves major donor to get a chance to take a photo together with Mark Maloney on the stage. This is
Oh.
this is very, very helpful. So you talk about the success of the donation or contribution. I would like to say the foundation night make them more understanding about the how we manage the fund, from the donation. And myself, I use the technique, which is the lead by example. I I,
Oh,
will- I normally donate to show the Rotarians that the foundation share, also donate. If you don't, if you are a leader and you don't donate, how can you convince other to donate or to contribute? So lead by example is very, very good technique, I would say, and try to educate the Rotarians about the benefit of contribution, because
great.
the foundation is belongs to all Rotarians, not belongs to anyone. It is
Wow.
our, yeah.
That's a good mentality. Thank you. Let's go on with the interview with Mr. Mark Maloney. Coach Ben?
On top of the economic and political turmoil we touched on, natural disasters, as we're all aware, such as droughts, floods, wildfires, extreme cold, are becoming more frequent. Do you perceive these challenges primarily as losses? And how do you propose to support disaster victims in a way that ensures assistance is both effective and sustainable?
Rotary is not a disaster relief organization. However, Rotary members want to provide immediate assistance to those affected by disasters. Therefore, we have a disaster response fund within the Rotary Foundation that is funded solely by contributions from Rotarians. There's no World Fund additions to it. It's Rotarians who contribute and designate it to the Disaster Response Fund. That fund is not intended to be comprehensive disaster relief. It is intended to be an immediate response not exceeding 25,000 US dollars that can assist in a particular way that is appropriate for Rotarians in that area. We also have established recently a disasters of magnitude program where if there's a disaster that is of such magnitude that it's known throughout the world and that it affects at least 1 million people, and the local situation is not, the local authorities are not in a position to really provide the relief needed, we can establish a specific fund. For example, we did that with respect to the earthquake, the series of earthquakes that happened in southern Turkey and Syria. This, it has to meet those criteria. And once again, it's for providing immediate relief. In terms, you mentioned sustainability, the grant programs that the Rotary Foundation already has, specifically the Global Grant Program, addresses exactly that sort of recovery. It's a long-term recovery effort, and Rotary clubs can apply for global grants to address long-term responses that are sustainable to a disaster situation.
Right. Thank you so much. I feel in times of crisis and challenges, it's even more so that everyone works together and plans something that has the most impact. Other remarks before we wrap up this exclusive session?
Well, we are living in troubling times, and we've addressed some of the upheaval as a result of political decisions that are made. Rotary is in a great position to prevent conflicts. We are a peace-building organization. We are not going to sit down at the negotiating table in Geneva, Switzerland, and work out differences between Russia and Ukraine or any two other warring parties. But what we do is we are a grassroots organization that through our peace building and conflict resolution area of focus and through our Rotary Peace Centers, we make a difference locally to prevent conflict. We will never know how many conflicts we've prevented because you don't know that a conflict will happen if it never happens. But I am confident that through the work of our Rotary Peace Fellows and through the work of Rotarians in the peace building area of focus, that we are having a tremendous impact on peace and on prevention of conflict. And of course, our Rotary International President, Stephanie Yurchik, just convened a presidential peace conference in Istanbul, Turkey, just a few weeks ago. Gay and I actually began this trip by attending that peace conference, and we've been traveling ever since. And there were presentations there that clearly showed how Rotarians can have a tremendous impact upon peace building in the world. And as the chair of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation, I am most grateful for the financial support of Rotarians around the world, particularly here in Thailand.
Wow, very inspiring. Well, we ran out of time. Time flies. After our enlightening 40 minutes together now, will Professor Saowalak and Mr. Nakarin, please, each of you, please leave with us one key takeaway or a final thought, either reflecting on Mr. Mark Maloney or on the issues you are working on. Professor Saowalak, please.
Global, I like to anything that in the world, we need to know the root, the deep root of the problems. If we learn the problems from, or the global, if we know that the global issues right now is poverty and conflict, all right? So how we overcome the poverty is a problem. It's just to let people have opportunity to have the life skill through education and literacy. Literacy at the standard level of critical thinking, reasoning ability for that. So from the reasoning ability, people can develop mentality and also learning more and develop more their own ethics, morality. See that? So that's become peaceful in mind. And that is the start of the peace, real peace in the world, peace inside. All right. So start from a very beginning at home, at school, learning from the very young how to care people, how to understand the diversity, how to give equity to all, and also the inclusive society, inclusive life together. That is the main things that I think we should take care and stress more and more. All right, especially if you have the endowment. I'm thinking of the endowment of the literacy. I like to call the Rotary Lighthouse literacy at the standard level, as I say. And that Mark Maloney, he left me about this idea too, to help promote this one. Okay, maybe started from Thailand. All right,
Wow,
endowment
great.
of literacy for all. All
Wow.
right. And that it should be the good start of how we solve all the problems, even the polio. Because I found that the areas of the polio, cases came from the illiterate people areas, especially in Pakistan, for example. And the
Yeah,
community,
that's right. That's
but
right.
people, they don't know at all. They don't have literacy skill at all. They don't know how to
Uh-huh.
read. They don't know how to write. That is the base of all the problem in the world.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I
we should
agree.
begin from there. A standard education, standard literacy skill from
Mhm.
the very young. All right.
Great.
This
Very
is what
inspiring, Professor Saowalak.
thank you.
May we switch to Mr. Nakarin? What is the one key takeaway or final thought you would like to leave with us to remember this conversation?
Okay. Okay. From from my opinion, I think at this moment everybody knows the world is in crisis. Every country, every area were facing difficulty. Can you imagine we are business people, we are also suffering. But how much suffering that the low income people or the unemployment people, especially the homeless people, they need much more help from us. But for us, we just earn less. But for them, they have nothing to eat. So, in my opinion, at this moment, Rotarians should work harder than before and contribute more to help those in needs, really needs at this situation, to help them survive as a humanity like us. Yeah, that is my opinion.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Yeah, thank you to our amazing guests, Professor Dr. Saowalak Rattanavich, past Rotary International Director, Mr. Nakarin Ratanakitsunthorn, Rotary Foundation Leader, Mr. Mark Maloney, past Rotary International President and Foundation Chair of Trustees, and special thanks to Didi Vibonma for co-hosting the interview segment. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us live or tape. Thank you, Coach Ben, for a wonderful live talk production support. We welcome comments or questions on all social media platforms, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you are interested in being involved in Rotary service projects or want to know more about Rotary, Google search or visit any Rotary club near you, and or just visit Rotary website, World Wide Web, rotary.org. World has changed. Watch us at any time from anywhere and on any device. But remember that the magic of Rotary lives in each act of service, each donation, and each collaboration that crosses boundaries to create lasting change. Until next time, this is Supan Vibunma encouraging you, Rotarian or non-Rotarian, to find your own way to create magic through service above self. Goodbye and take care. Goodbye. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you very
everybody.
much. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.